Hey everyone, and welcome to That Was History. We've got 7 stories for you this week, same as always, and we've got one story in particular that affects every single one of you. So stay tuned and find out what I mean.
I'm sure at some point in your high school career you've been taught about the Cuban Missile Crisis. If not, this was a standoff between America and the Soviet Union, who were supplying missiles to Cuba. If these missiles had have launched, they could have had a devastating effect on the United States of America. In an effort to protect the innocent, JFK recommended that families build bomb shelters in order to protect themselves against an atomic attack. This occurred on October 6 of 1961, and home builders actually started selling houses that included bomb shelters in it around this time frame.
One of the best things to do if you ever get the chance to go to New York is to see a show on Broadway. I actually got the chance several years ago, and it was an experience I'll never forget. I actually saw the show The Lion King on Broadway, but had you went, say, around the time of October 7th of 1982, you would have seen the musical Cats. This show opened at Winter Garden Theater on Broadway with Betty Buckley as Grisabella. The show would be performed 7,485 times and would finally come to an end on September 10th of 2000.
Growing up, guys, more so than girls, remember going outside and playing with their remote control cars. Well, just imagine these cars, but only in life-size form, and they're not even controlled by humans. Well, on October 8th of 2005, the race ended between 4 cars just like this. They completed a 240-kilometer course, which is roughly 149 miles, across Nevada's Mojave Desert. These vehicles, which essentially are modified cars, SUVs, or dune buggies, use sophisticated software to guide them. They use GPS, cameras, infrared sensors, lasers, and other things to guide them across the tough terrain. How cool would it be to have a car like this that's not even controlled by a human? The way this is going in the future, if this is brought to the public, we might just be chauffeured around by cars that aren't even driven by a human.
I'd like to start this segment out by giving our appreciation to the founders of YouTube and for Google's purchase of this multi-billion-dollar in-stock website. Without them, our show wouldn't even be possible. On October 9th of 2006, Google announced that they would be purchasing YouTube for $1.65 billion in stock. Officially, YouTube had begun 11 months earlier in November of 2005, and by the summer of 2006, they had become one of the fastest-growing websites with over 100 million video clips being viewed daily. If you're an avid YouTuber like we are, you understand the importance of maintaining such a great website. YouTube allows everyone from around the world to come together and make creative and interesting videos, some of which go viral and shape our culture one way or another. So thank you, YouTube, for all that you do.
Have you ever just taken a moment, stopped, and just examined your money? I mean, really get down to it and look at it. There's just so much that goes into making paper and coin currency that most people just don't realize. For America, there's usually an important figure or event on the back. Take the Susan B. Anthony coin, for example. This coin became official United States currency on October 10th of 1978 when President Carter signed a bill authorizing the new coin. The front would feature suffragette Susan B. Anthony, and the back an insignia of the Apollo 11 mission.
On a nice sunny day, it's always fun to go to the lake and hang out and maybe go for a swim. But have you ever stopped to think, what if there was a Loch Ness monster in the lake? Well, I think I'm going to go for a swim and hope that there isn't. Speaking of the Loch Ness monster, on October 11th of 1987, a 3-day hunt would begin to find this legendary sea monster. It would take $1.6 million, but unfortunately no real evidence was ever found to suggest that Nessie exists. But you and I both know that she's out there.
Well guys, I just swung in to tell you that on October 12th of 1931, Johnny Weissmuller was chosen to play Tarzan in a number of films stretching all the way to the 1940s.
Well, just like Tarzan, this episode's coming to an end and it's time for us to swing out. Oh, but before I go, be sure to come back next Friday when we release our next episode.
Well, we'd also like to ask you to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And we'd also like to ask you to subscribe. Now, if you don't have an account on YouTube, you won't be able to do this. So if you'll go up to where it says sign in at the top of the page, go ahead and create an account, and then you can subscribe to our channel. What this lets you do is allow you to see when all our videos are up online each week, and it also gives you other updates to our channel as well. Does that help?